Hey ade oshimanawo. The Star Quilt Ceremony of the Fort Peck Indian and Sioux tribes. One of the most central features of traditional ceremonies on the Fort Peck Indian Reservation has now become a big part of Montana's sporting events. The Star Quilt Ceremony and its presence at sporting events, primarily on the high school basketball court, has been a tradition among the Assiniboine and Sioux people for nearly 8 decades. Star quilts are often made to honor military veterans, visiting dignitaries, and to drape caskets during funerals. Some tribal historians say the star quilt eventually replaced the buffalo hide after the hunts for the animal were banned by the federal government in the mid-1800s. Quilt making is busy as ever, and especially at the end of basketball season when high school seniors are honored and the quilt ceremonies are usually held at basketball tournaments. The reservation schools, Poplar, Brockton, Wolf Point, and Frazer, all hold star quilt giveaway ceremonies at their district basketball tournaments. The tradition of parents honoring their children on the basketball court dates back to the 1940s. In recent years, non-Indian student athletes have also adopted the tribal tradition and participate alongside their Native American teammates. Usually, a basketball player honors a player or coach from an opposing team. The recipients are called out onto the floor of the gym with their parents, said the late Frazer School athletic director, Dean Blount. Blount, who passed away in early 2021 at the age of 83, conducted an interview with the Fort Peck Tribe's Language and Culture Department about his memories of the Star Quilt Ceremony and as a 10-year-old witness to the first time the tradition started at a Brockton basketball game in 1947. Blount said there has been a lot of misunderstanding as to why the ceremony is done. For the most part, the ceremony helps to teach tribal values, including generosity and respect. The ceremony helps contribute to their development, he said.
I would think it was when my brother Dennis was a senior in 1947. We went in a Model A all the way to watch him play in Brockton. My grandma was with us, and I didn't know she was going to do this. This was back in the day. They didn't come back to see their coach. They had to stay on the floor, and they used to roll them a little thing out with water and lemons and all that kind of stuff. And it was during the timeout. She came off the bleachers in Brockton's old school. She was on the north side, and I was on the south side. I was wondering, what's Grandma going to do? You know, she had a shawl, and she just started. She was pretty active for her age. She was in her upper 70s then. And she just kind of jumped around and said, she had a cheer like for rah, rah, rah for Brockton or something in that order. And then she took the blanket and put it over my brother's shoulders. And, you know, they've never seen that before.
Right.
And I remember Marvin Algie was one of his teammates, and he took that back and he said, "Here, lady, we got to go back and play. You know, she said, "No, I gave that to you guys." And eventually it just ended up on the floor, and some woman from Brockton came and got it. And that was what it's all about, you know. And I think that was kind of the harbinger of all of this, you know.
Right.
That's the first time I ever seen that, and I don't know what the motive was. I know she was a very generous woman. You know, she raised me, and she always told me always to help other people out, and it was just a gesture. She was proud of her grandson, but she wanted to share something just to show her appreciation for his accomplishments and for our Native American people as a whole. Well, I think it's really a big impact because, you know, the memories are established, and there's always a way. You know, I can remember one incident where a man from Opheim lost his son, and he was devastated by that loss, you know, because he was a good ball player, and it was during the tournament, one of my grandsons, I think it was Errol Standing, gave that man a star quilt in honor of his son. He come off the bleachers. I mean, he ran down the bleachers and he was crying, and he grabbed Errol, and you could just see the emotion. And just to show you the ramification of that, we went to a cross-country meet in Glendive about 2 years ago, and he was driving a bus for a bus company. That Hardin school bus was coming to Glendive, but they broke down, so this guy brought him, and that's why I seen him, you know. And he come up to me. That's one of the first things he said. He said, "How is Errol?" Where is he? What's he doing? Stuff like that. So you see,
Yeah.
it has a big impact on a lot of lives, you know.
Right.
Hey, ade o shimana wo mi tu kashina kichio mashika na konwi choha ke o te he no hey awa no